finally time to tackle a part of this car I don't like and finally get this thing tuned so that way we can actually rip on it and enjoy this car for what it is. And that is this intercooler piping. It's getting pulled. Just gonna solve that. And then I have a whole box of parts over there for fabrication, for fabricating up a new intake with a brand new filter, all new intercooler piping, and battery relocation. So that way all this can all work together. I can get this thing tuned and it'll actually make the most out of the tune instead of just tuning it for as it is now and then a couple months down the road, swapping everything around and then having to get it tuned again. So figured one and done. New blow-off valve, new piping, new intake, new filter, battery relocation. This thing is gonna be insanely cool once all that's done. Much cleaner, much better look than this. With this whole rat's nest of wiring right here, this thing's gonna be good. And I just dropped off the tires to get those done finally. No longer on the, not gonna be on the Toyos that have been on this car ever since it was parked back in like 2019, 2020, and since they were finally starting to crack. Yeah, it's time to finally get them replaced and super excited. I actually went down a size from the 265s to 255, same specs, everything else. A little bit smaller on like the overall height, but that doesn't really matter. Width is just a touch smaller. So, I mean, no matter what, I'm happy. Finally getting new tires. These are actually a bit cheaper too, just because I'm not going for the full absolute max size that this car can handle. Going down a little bit more reasonable. And brakes are looking amazing. This is the only one I have on so far. I'm waiting on some brake line washers. And then I can get all four of them on, get the brakes bled, and then this thing will be ready to drive once the tune is all set up. All right, super quick run through on everything we got. A bunch of battery cable here. Fairly substantial. It's bigger than 0 gauge. I believe this is AUT2 or AUT1. Can't remember, it's pretty big. Evo 10 fusible link. These little adapter guys. This little guy I already modified with these little wings here. So it'll drop down on there and get past these tabs. I'm not gonna fight it right now because it's, there it goes. Yep, just like that. So it's all nice and flush, pretty wide. That'll look good. These three are all 45-degree stainless steel 2.5-inch piping. This one is same thing, but it is a 90-degree. This one is extra thick wall. I'm hoping I can bead roll that. I might end up having to swap this out for a regular one if it won't work. So we'll see. This is a 3.5-inch piece of aluminum pipe. That is going to be going for my intake with this brand new filter. You can't really see here. It is a 3.5-inch filter. 3.5-inch pipe. This is the adapter to take it from 3 1/4 to 3 1/2. 2 3/4 inch to 2 1/2 inch adapter here for the throttle body. 2 2.5-inch couplers for the piping. This is going to be the IAT adapter for going from basically the stock MAF wiring to an IAT sensor here. Bung, stainless steel bung, so I can weld it onto one of these guys. Full T-clamp set. Battery terminals. I need to get an Ultima red top. Tile blow-off valve. I originally got this in red just because I wanted it to match everything. Shocker, this red is not close to everything else I'm running, so I might end up coating this, but we'll see because it's kind of a pain in the ass to coat these, so we'll see there. And then we have the stainless steel flange here, weld on there. And then just a drain gasket for my turbo, since I did have to pop that drain off there when I swapped out manifolds, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I think it is on to some fabrication time now. This is going to be huge getting all this stuff updated. Get one good last look at this setup here. APS blow-off valve, basically adapter hose, stock route, mostly intercooler piping from ETS. Adapter hose here, not from ETS. Very, very ghetto rigged intake going to a green filter that is squished. And then just look down here at that piping. This will look so much cleaner with this gone, this short routed. Everything's gonna be so much better. And then this guy, just a quick little filter up here. So nice. It'll be so nice. Not bad overall. So I got this little 1 foot section of 3.5 inch pipe, chopped it down like 2 inches or so there, straight 3.25 to the 3.5 coupler, and that's pretty much it. I definitely am gonna have to cut this down a little bit because this is sticking up. Yeah, it might be just a little bit high. I think maybe 1 inch down. Like 1 inch. I should be able to clear that, get the filter down in there just in front of this fan here, and I think everything should fit perfect there. Next challenge is the intercooler piping. Now I am returning this guy and this 45 back here. As it turns out, the 45s, no matter how I'm trying to mess with this, it just won't work. It's just coming too far straight out here. Even if I throw another 45 here, it's still gonna be, it's gonna be a lot more curves than I want. Both the pieces I have, I should be able to make it work. I just need basically those two 45s I already have out and 2 more 90s that are thinner piping. That 190 that I have is extra thick wall. I kind of had a concern that might be an issue. It is. I mean, I tried to roll a bead into the standard thickness and it will put a bead in there. It's just hard to do it. So trying to do it on the extra thick one, it's just not gonna happen. They do have a 2-footer in stock, actually 2 2-footers at least. So what I'm gonna do is I'm heading down there on my lunch tomorrow from work. I'm gonna drop off that 45, that extra thick 90, swap those out for 2 of the 40 or the 90 degree 2.5s, and should be able to get going on fabrication on this. Next up though is going to be brake bleeding. I got a friend on the way over here. He's gonna help me out on getting those brakes bled. Huge shout out to Spencer. And I'm gonna start planning out the battery relocation. Back on track, back kind of not so on track. Huge shout out to Silicone Intakes. They just swapped me my 2 pipes for these 2 pipes. So that was super easy, quick and fast. Went down there on my lunch, got the new pipes, came right back. No charge, no headache. However, did have a little issue here with this caliper. My seals failed. Apparently the ones from Rock Auto, shocker, are not good. They're too tight, making the piston basically just go in there. It caused it to fail. So I have a new set of gyro disc seals on the way. The rears went together fine. I'm not really as concerned about those. We'll pressure test them when everything's back. However, I do have to finish taking apart that front caliper that's sitting on the bench over there. For this side, I have the 2 pistons on the one side just need to come out. And I'm gonna go ahead and take apart the other side on the front, just that way I can start fresh. Everything will be done, everything will be brand new, good seals. I shouldn't have to worry about them. So if you take this, take like 2 inches off the top of that pipe, you end up with a perfect fit. Not mad at all. That was probably one of the easiest things I've done on this project. It's been a weird last couple weeks. I haven't really been recording a whole lot just because it's been so sporadic on when I can get here and when I can't. But I did make a lot of progress on this build as far as everything goes. And I want to kind of highlight a couple things that I feel like are kind of underdocumented. One of which being the fusible link. I found one video on YouTube in general that said where your pinouts are supposed to be for an 8 or 9, so I'm going to highlight that and then just kind of go over a lot of the little stuff that I did. So this is a fusible link. Obviously main power right here. This is your starter cable. This one right here is what I ran for the fuse box. This is alternator, and then if you have it, this is the ACD system. So it's 80 amp, the 120, another 80, and then this is what, like 140, I think? Yeah, 140, and then obviously this is main power. I have not fused that one yet, but it is getting a fuse in the trunk. I ran the battery from this back corner back here. You can kind of see, I wish it would focus. There you go. Kind of see where the cable comes through. There is a grommet there, it just doesn't look like it. There is a grommet there, it just doesn't look like it. The firewall, heat shielding, fireproofing, whatever it is, sound deadening, I don't know. It's blocking it, but trust, it is there. I wanted to make sure because, yeah, rubbing through your cable is not cool. Unlike the person that ran the power cable for my fuel pump, ran it through the floorboard here off the battery that was right there, and for some reason took the insulation off of it to push it through the grommet. So the insulation continued on either side of it, just not in the middle. It was so corroded that I barely pulled on it and snapped in half, so that's a wonder that this car even started with that. As far as the piping goes, everything is fabricated, it is done. My lower pipe is on here right now. Upper pipe is gonna be going on in just a minute. My intake is also fabricated with a brand new filter, ready to go. staying speed density, so I have a brand new IAT that was never installed before. That is going on here. I don't know if my map is good, but if it is, great. If not, I'll buy a new one. I'm not that concerned about it. Yeah, it's just a lot of buttoning things up now. The battery cable, I'm actually really excited about this. The cable does start behind the dash, right about kind of like in here. If you drop your glove box and take it out, you can see the back of it going through the firewall there. You can throw your grommet in and then kind of use that to use to your advantage to kind of see it and guide it. It runs down through here. It is underneath this guy right here. All the way through here, goes into the trunk where the battery is going to be mounted. Fuel pump obviously relays still over there underneath the back seat. That cable just runs all the way underneath the back here. And both of them just come out right here. So that one, as you can see, is fused. My main cable here is not, but I left a lot of extra slack on it, so when I am ready to do so, I can. I'm gonna be putting a breaker on here. This is my mount for my battery. I just went ahead and bought it off Amazon. It was 30, 40 bucks, something like that. It was pretty cheap. It's better than a lot of the boxes that I've seen. I don't really feel the need to put it in a full-on box. And I just went ahead and added some nut certs here in the floor. So those will be going on there shortly, once I get a little bit of help just to center them. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut the carpet right through here. If I ever lift up that guy, I don't have to take the battery out. And with the battery being in there, I don't want it to just be on bare metal because it looks ugly. It'll look better with the carpet underneath it. So I'm just gonna basically put this guy just like that. And then battery will obviously be sitting right on top of that. It'll make filling up the wiper fluid a bit of a pain, but how often do you really do that? This is the upper intercooler pipe. Looks phenomenal. I'm very excited about how this came out, so that will be going on in just a minute. I installed this pillar gauge holder, and everything looks a lot better now. Very OEM plus, super nice. Again, just buttoning things up. I need a couple more grounds up on the engine just because I'm not really happy with what they are. I have 3 so far. I kind of want like probably one more large one, maybe another small one just for the injectors. I just need to run the main battery ground in the trunk and ground it out for the battery, and it's good to go. That is the last major part to this car besides just buttoning everything up. And other thing I did just a short while ago, you may remember in previous videos, it's hard to see, but these were super ugly and corroded. I just took a couple hours earlier and got these thrown in the oven, Cerakoted them, and now they are gloss black, which is the same as these plates here. It is a 2-hour cure time at 250 degrees, so it is definitely a time commitment, but it is well worth it. And then this guy right here is just Prismatic Powders Blackjack for that trim piece. And then I also recoated these in blackjack as well because I think they look a lot better like that, matching this versus just being the random ink black piece in here. I am finally picking this video back up after like a month, maybe 2 months. It's been quite hectic. Moved, did a bunch of stuff on the car. Tried to film as much as I could, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really film as much as I should have. But I'm picking it back up because I have a whole new plan for this car as far as some little stuff to get done. So the brakes are done. They came out amazing. I will do like a full cinematic on them, but I mean, pretty good. Rotors are getting replaced. I have another brand new set of these in boxes right behind me. I just am waiting on my pads to come in finally. I finally just went through Rock Auto and ordered some pads just because I don't really need anything super special. I don't want to get like track specific pads for this thing because I want it for just a daily. So just some regular, I think I ordered StopTech pads. I was going to order the Brembo ones, but StopTech seemed like they might be a little bit better for my application, so went with those. Before I close this video out, I'm going to go into some detail on what all I've done for this engine bay. Then we'll get a start up on it because I got to put this thing up on some boards because I need to do some fluid work. I just want to say I am very proud of how this thing came out. It is so much better when I picked it up back in July of last year. So here is how it sits now. So you can see I did brand new turbo manifold here, went full tubular on it just because I liked it a lot better than the cast manifold. Definitely opens up the sound a bit more. On top of that, I just think that it, obviously looks better, and I think the performance is pretty much on par. I did get one that is made out of a specific steel. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's 304. That is not supposed to crack. It's like if you get any of these manifolds that's not made out of that, apparently they are prone to cracking. This one specific material is not, so we'll see if that holds up. Brand new filter, brand new intake, all that fabricated by me. I am going to be redoing this a little bit to throw the filter over here, just that way if it's raining, it's not going to rain on it through here because that is a problem right now, so we'll just move that over. This guy is now mounted up here just because it is a better spot. It's more open. I actually have the space to do so. All of the short route intercooler piping, including the mount for the tile, I fabricated all of this. Huge shout out to Silicon Intakes for always working with me on all of these fabrication pieces. I used them several times on the Tacoma project. Huge fan of them. Decided to use them for this too, just to get my piping sorted out. Everything was from them except for the flange that I did order from, I don't even remember who it was, some online retailer, but bought that, got it all fabricated up, and this fits so much better than the stock routing piping. I also fabricated up this little battery distribution block mount here where the stock battery tray fit, cut it out so you can still see the engineering engine mount down there, transmission mount. All of this is wired up properly. I have all of the diagrams on that for where everything needs to go, outlined in an earlier part of this video. I also, not sure if I added this in an earlier part of the video or not, did a full wire tuck on all of my harness that goes across the top here, and it looks 1,000 times better. So yeah, not anything super major, but for me, that's pretty big. That's the biggest thing I wanted to do on this car was E85 and go short route piping with a nice tune, and I have short route piping with a nice tune. Don't have E85 yet. Injectors are gonna be a limiting factor on there along with my fuel pump, so I gotta get those upped. Once those are upped, then it's party time. But Chag Tune just helped me out with this thing. I am having an issue with my MyVec system on here, getting the typical P0011 code. I don't know what it is. I've tested almost everything on there. The only thing I haven't tested yet, which I'm gonna test in just a minute, is the ohm range for the oil control valve. Problem is everything's been checking out great, which is the one time I didn't want that to be the case, because at least then if there is something that is notably wrong, I can replace it, but go figure, everything's going right for once. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I know it's been a minute since I've uploaded, but things have been hectic. Finally kind of getting back into the swing of things. Pretty soon here, after this video goes live, I'm actually gonna be taking the wing off, and we are gonna be learning bodywork. The wing is getting a re-clear on it, because obviously it needs it. The roof is getting a full respray because there's paint damage underneath the clear coat damage, so we gotta strip it all back, fix that, fix hail damage, fill in any spots that I can't just pop back out, and this thing's gonna be looking 100 times better, and then that rear quarter has to get sorted out at some point. So again, appreciate you watching. I'll definitely be uploading a bit more, just keep an eye out. Again, thank you again, and see you in the next one.